Jackson Radio Show.
Hillary Clinton's a two-time loser. Kevin Jackson's who you're listening to, folks. KJRadio.com. Hillary Clinton, a fake, a fraud, a scam artist. And she almost became president. Hard to believe, man. People wanted her. But nobody expects the third time to be the charm. Hillary's already said, I'm not running in 2020. Really? Okay, whatever. Thanks. Let me tell you who's not going to run in 2020, just so we're clear. The front runner to the Democrats' nomination currently is Bernie Sanders. He will not run in 2020. I'm going to make that prediction for you now. Elizabeth Warren's in the top 5. She will not run in 2020. Joe Biden, top 5, will not run in 2020. And I could go on. Hillary Clinton, no chance. So who does that leave? Oh, they got Kamala Harris. No chance. They got Cory Booker. No chance. They have nobody with charisma, nothing. None of them are going to run. Hillary Clinton's still on the worst book tour of her life. Yep. And on her latest stop, she sat down with Hugh Hewitt, who I respect Hugh, but he was a bit gushy over Clinton during this, very complimentary of her in the book. Even though, do you think he probably read it? He read it. But what's interesting to me is Hillary believes her failures have emboldened her to be the leader of the party. And why not? She called the shots to derail Bernie Sanders by controlling the DNC. And of course, Bernie was complicit. She fabricated the current controversies against Donald Trump in the Russia situation, which, by the way, is going to completely backfire and blow up in her face. So why shouldn't she feel relevant at this point? Because it hasn't blown up. Bernie Sanders is taking his lumps. He's happy. The Trump thing is still continuing, even though, as I said, it's not going to end good for the Clintons or anybody in her circle. But she hasn't been made to pay for it. She's going to feel relevant until somebody comes along and whisks her away to prison. But until then, she's not going to relinquish the reins of the party. But that doesn't mean the party wants her, and they don't. They want her gone. And what's funny, Clinton said something along the lines of, she's talking to Hugh Hewitt, nobody's reached out to me, to ask me about the campaign. None of these other contenders that may want to run in 2020. And so she says this, I see Democrats all the time and nobody said, hey, I'm going to run or I'm thinking about running. Give me advice now. And I find it funny that Clinton would even speculate as to why someone wouldn't ask for advice. I was having this conversation. I don't remember who it was. It was a candidate. And he'd picked this team. And I know very little about politics. This was probably 5-6 years ago, around that time. And I just asked a simple question. I said, well, let me ask you this. Who's your campaign manager? And he said, so-and-so. I didn't even know who it was. I said, what's their track record in campaigns? And I don't remember the exact number, but it was something like 3 and 22. And I just looked at the candidate and I went, really? And didn't say much. I was kind of waiting on him to go, Kevin, does that bother you? What do you think? And I just said, really? And he goes, and he didn't say anything. So I said, so let me ask you this. If you were picking a coach for your football team that was 3 and 22 last year, who would you pick? Would you pick a coach that's 3 and 22 or one that's 22 and 3? And he just kind of looked at me like I was stupid. Well, Kevin, you don't understand. I mean, she ran a lot of campaigns and I went, I understand completely. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to talk to a guy who's a winner. That would be me. And you want to convince a winner to adapt the mindset of a loser. You want to convince me that hiring somebody 3 and 22, gives you a statistical advantage? She's due for a win? I'm going, what are you trying to say to me? Let me ask you this. I said, was there anybody available who was 22 and 3? because I'd go look for that person. Are you kidding? This is the lunacy. And so Hillary Clinton, who's 0 for 2 in the presidency and who pretty much got shoehorned into her Senate seat, and she's going, why won't they come talk to me? She actually said, I'd be happy to have those conversations. I bet you would, Hillary, because you'd feel relevant. You'd feel like, wow, I am somebody. Washington Times reports, nobody's approached her for 2020 advice is not surprising. First, as Clinton herself said in 2017, the short list of possible 2020 candidates isn't just short, it's practically non-existent. That's what Clinton said of her party that they're speculating will have 30 nominees. Now, she goes on to say this. Second, if there were a list of likely 2020 candidates, why would anyone seek campaign advice from the woman who lost to a reality show host? Why would anyone want the advice of a person who lost despite the fact she enjoyed nearly every conceivable election advantage going into 2016? This is what the Washington Examiner said of Hillary Clinton. Now, let's face it. In 2016, Clinton was the heavyweight. Trump was considered a joke. I don't need to take you through it. You know this. Undoubtedly, Clinton was the most credentialed candidate, a political heavyweight. She was former first lady and active as a former first lady. She was a senator that, as I said, held on to the coattails of her husband, the philanderer, and then ultimately parlayed the Clinton cachet into the Secretary of State job. And that created her pedigree. Now she's got presidential experience, I've got the senatorial experience, and now I have cabinet level experience, worldwide gallivanter. And so that's all she needed. Donald Trump, no matter what he said, he can't match those credentials on paper. I'm a international businessman. Congratulations. He's far more accomplished than she, but he didn't have the pedigree. The Clinton name alone brought a certain level of cachet, provided a big advantage in political circles and fundraising circles. Clinton, I don't know how much money she had, but she and Jeb Bush, if I'm not mistaken, had more money than any of these guys, probably than all of them combined to start, except for maybe Perry. I think Rick Perry had quite a bit. And despite the financial woes of the debt broke Clintons when they left the Oval Office, and what Hillary said, they amassed a fortune prior to 2016. They could have financed most of their campaign, but they instead relied on a vast network of large donors who were at their disposal. And because of this, Hillary ran the most expensive campaign in history, raised more money than Barack Obama. She had the media literally, I mean this in all sincerity, in her pocket. We found out through disclosures of Fusion GPS that we don't know who they are yet, but they paid media. There was a story back in July of 65 media people who had met with the Clintons and had orchestrated news stories. Fake news paid off media. And that fake news paid off media told us that the Democrats were unified, despite the fact that we watched Bernie Sanders filling rallies, 10,000, 15,000 people. Hillary Clinton couldn't get enough people for a cake sale, for a bake sale. And it doesn't matter. And then Bernie is leading a pack of youngsters, off the cliff, but they weren't going to follow Hillary Clinton, and they didn't. And then you had Donald Trump. And Trump was Trump. Stumbled over himself in debates, made controversial tweets. No campaign experience, initially self-funded his campaign. Nobody expected Trump to make it out of the primaries. But despite having the deck stacked against him, including potential collusion from Obama to help Clinton win, Trump did it. He defeated her. And now she wants to know what happened. All the money in the world wouldn't allow Clinton to retire. That's my contention. She She's not even, it's not about the money. If Clinton were smart, she would have run away like a scalded dog, but she's not. She's dumb. I mean, it's just crazy to watch her. And when the book tour ends, let me tell you, so does the era of the Clintons. Her book sales are inflated. On a Texas stop, she was at a Austin Book People, and she announced that the visit had quickly sold out, but the $30 tickets were way down from the norm. And then the ticket included a copy of the book, which cost $34.95 at Barnes & Noble. So she was actually paying people $5 to show up to her book event.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.